Donald Trump is a racist, they say. Is that actually true?
No, I'm not a racist. I am the least racist person you have ever interviewed. That I can tell you.
Steve Kornacki of NBC, actually doing some real news here, has a great breakdown of how the voters turned out in terms of demographics. It's quite amazing. But I'm going to show just quickly 3 clips of Donald Trump being called a racist.
When Congressman Elijah Cummings calls you a racist, your reaction is what?
So this whole Donald Trump is a racist thing obviously has been going on for a long time. This actually was October of this year. We watched 20 Trump rallies. This is from Politico. His racist anti-immigrant message is getting darker. And then here's a funny one, but it was kind of based on something that was true. There was like some sort of contest, if you remember, back in 2015, 2016 when Trump was running. If someone shouted, "Hey, you're a racist," to Donald Trump, apparently they were going to get $5,000.
Bad. And we're going to have a lot of fun tonight.
You're a racist!
Who the hell is, I knew this was going to happen. Who is that?
Trump's a racist!
It's Larry David. What are you doing, Larry?
I heard if I yelled that, they'd give me $5,000.
So it's obviously a joke, but it was based on something that was real. It seemed like, at least, go around online. Here, Charlemagne the God cannot believe that 1/3 of voters of color voted for Trump.
What do you make of the demographics here? I mean, Trump got 1 out of every 3 voters of color.
No.
Yeah.
1 out of
33%.
No. Really?
Yeah.
When you say color, you mean like black, brown, everything. Oh, well, I think that, people have different.
So it really seems like some of the only people that think he's a racist are the people that are like the elites that make a lot of money, which Kornacki will lay out here. That seems to be the only place Kamala picked up votes, is with highly educated, wealthy people. Watch the numbers here of how many people of color and how many minority groups swung to Donald Trump.
By transforming the Republican Party, it is now more diverse than it's ever been in modern times, and certainly much more than when Donald Trump first came on the scene 8 years ago. A lot of ways to look at this. How about this here? When it says pre-Trump, that's the last presidential election before Donald Trump started running. You got to go back to 2012 for that. Remember, 3 straight elections, Trump's been the Republican candidate. So pre-Trump, voters under 30 were going for the Democrats by 23 points. Folks with incomes under 50,000, 22 points for the Democrats. Folks without college degrees, 4 points for the Democrats. That's pre-Trump. What comes out of this election? Look at some of these shifts. The youth vote, that Democratic margin cut more.
I mean, that is unbelievable. Look at that swing. I'll get to more numbers in a second here, but that is incredible.
More than in half. Voters under 50,000, now a Republican constituency. Voters without a college degree. Look at that shift. Now a core Republican constituency. And then we can talk about race, ethnicity. This gets into that diversity I mentioned.
So just look at that. Who's the Democratic Party for now? Income under $50,000 has swung to the Republican Party. Supposedly the party of big business, massive tax cuts, etc. Trump totally has transformed that party. That is unbelievable, that statistic there.
To that diversity I mentioned a minute ago, check this out. Again, pre-Trump versus now. The black vote still overwhelmingly Democratic, but that's a 15-point shift. It used to be 87 points for the Democrats, down to 72. How about this? You've heard a lot about it this week. This is what the numbers look like. Hispanic voters were 44 points Democratic before Donald Trump. Now, basically a toss-up constituency, and Asian Americans.
That Hispanic Latino number is truly amazing. That might be the biggest swing, the most important, or at least like the most shock. I don't know if shocking is the right word. Just shocking, certainly to the liberal elites. Probably the most important piece of data of the entire election. The guy that said build the wall, etc. They almost went for Republicans. Plus 44 before Donald Trump was there to plus 6 now. In just a short amount of time. That is a monumental swing in support from Democrats to Republicans. I think it just shows that, just like a lot of other demographics, Hispanic and Latino people prioritize immigration, they prioritize a strong economy. They prioritize not sending money over to overseas to fund all these foreign wars to the degree that America does. I mean, I think it's a very unifying message, actually. It shows that a lot of Americans, regardless of their ethnic background, share similar interests. I mean, that is an incredible swing. 38%.
32-point shift there as well.
38 points.
That's what's happened to the Republican Party since Donald Trump became its standard bearer 8 years ago. This has been the movement. And meanwhile,
even that Asian number, too, though, that has not been reported on very much at all. I think this is a great segment from Kornacki. 32. I mean, that is an incredible swing as well in Asian support.
Years ago, this has been the movement. And meanwhile, for the Democratic Party, the story is the opposite. Pre-Trump versus now. Check out some of these movements. Among white voters, this was a 20-point Republican constituency before Trump. Still a Republican constituency, but a little bit less so. And white voters are such a massive share of the electorate.
But Trump is a racist. I mean, the data would say he's not. Who thinks he's a racist? Is it just people on TV? Some of them have television shows who are rich. They call him that? I mean, basically, I don't even know if there's a person in history that you could prove is not a racist more than Donald Trump. This is like a massive sample size of so much proof that he's not a racist. Again, he might be, when he says, I'm the least racist person, he actually can point to data now. Nobody else in probably the entire world can actually prove that they're not racist like Donald Trump can. Everyone can just say they are and feel that they're not. Donald Trump actually has a massive statistical data to back up the claim that he is not racist.
Point shift, very meaningful. Again, college-educated voters now, a core Democratic constituency. Folks earning more than $100,000, used to be a Republican constituency, now a Democratic constituency. And this gets to, we talk all about the battlegrounds. Trump swept the battle.
So congratulations, Democrats. You're now the party of wealthy, college-educated people. Whatever, maybe you want to be, but good luck with that. Good luck winning elections if that's your core group of people.
But the other big story this week has to do with the popular vote and how Trump pulled that off. Here's one answer. Big blue states with very diverse populations. This new coalition that Donald Trump's assembled, it meant that he didn't win any of these, but he made some giant strides. California, biggest of them all, 29-point Biden win 4 years ago. Currently, only 18 for Harris, her home state. Look at New York. Basically, Trump cutting that Democratic margin in half. Go down this list and look inside those states and you'll see it. Blue-collar areas, cities, metro areas with...
Yeah, Kornacki makes a great point. He points to Wisconsin in a second here. Steve Kornacki is just cooking in this entire segment. This is important, this shift in the blue states, because now, even in a blue area, if you want to wear a MAGA hat, I mean, if you want to, maybe not like, whatever, if you want to wear it, but just if you want to support Donald Trump, I think this represents, it's more palatable. People are not being as afraid. I just think if you know that your state has had a swing to the right in terms of the vote, I think in your business, in your life, I think people are going to feel more comfortable saying they support Donald Trump, or at least they support some of Donald Trump's policies. I think this is actually ultimately incredibly important for Donald Trump's next term. If you just have all, or at least most of the people that support Trump actually being vocal about it, I don't think there will be such a strong resistance to Trump this time, because even in the blue areas, many people that support Trump or they support what he's doing will feel more comfortable now being like, hey, no, we support this. And I think that's what this shift represents. I mean, look at New Jersey. New Jersey almost went to Trump.
Large Hispanic populations, that's where Trump made his big gains there. We'll land on this one map, one battleground state that I think tells the story of these two coalitions here visually. Let's call up Wisconsin. We know in this election, Wisconsin went to Donald Trump. You're looking at a pre-Trump election, because I just want to show you, this is what a battleground state like Wisconsin looked like not that long ago. When Barack Obama ran and carried the state over John McCain, look at all the blue here. So many of these are small.
This is actually incredible. Watch this.
Small rural counties with blue-collar populations. Barack Obama could sweep almost all these counties. Democrats were competitive here. Take a look at this map, and I'm going to call up what just happened this week. All that blue has become Look at all that red. All of those blue-collar areas with Donald Trump as the Republican leader for the last 8 years have moved this dramatically to the Republicans, and it's left the Democrats relying more.
It's incredible. The only people that vote for Democrats now are people that live in big cities. Wealthy people that think they're educated because they went to college. Not all of them are snobs, but certainly many people on television, like Sonny Hostin, is a huge snob. This is like their whole constituency. Look at that, the difference there. Basically went from all blue to all red.
More than ever on areas like Madison, Wisconsin, Milwaukee County, areas that have large populations of voters with college degrees, of higher income voters, of progressive voters. And in this election, Kristen, it just wasn't enough for the Democrats to lean on that when they've lost so much ground with blue collar voters elsewhere.
Steve, it is just striking to look at that map of Wisconsin, and frankly...
So I'll finish here, but I mean, props to Steve Kornacki of NBC. That was a great segment. And even I like his election coverage as well. I mean, you can't say very much for the rest of the network of NBC. The Trump derangement syndrome and much of the mainstream media is obvious and apparent and doesn't help Democrats, I don't think. But I'll finish the video here. I just think it's incredible how I don't think anyone else in the entire world can actually make the claim that they're not racist and back that up with so much data. So when Donald Trump says he's the least racist person that you've ever met, or when he makes those crazy statements like that, he's kind of right. That's incredible. So with that said, I'll finish the video here, but thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.